Now, most people know that physical activity is gonna help with weight loss. Many people don't like to do it. And I'm going to come up with some common objections, because most people know about physical activity, they know that it's going to do them some good, but they come up with objections. I'm just going to give you some of my thoughts of how you can deal with that. So let's start with what we've got down here. This is what some people have said to me. So money's a barrier. Okay, you don't need any money to do any form of exercise. You don't need any. You can do it with nothing. Yeah. So there's nothing to stop someone from going to do a brisk walk. They can go and do some exercises at home. There's plenty of fitness channels on. They can buy a mat for very relatively inexpensive and do some yoga exercises, and it can cost you. It's very inexpensive, and you can do it for nothing. So that's not really a reason for me. Time. So time, that's the only thing that we all have that's equal in life. So it's time. So for someone to say that time's a barrier, no, it isn't. That's more of a priority. How your values in life, how you your values hierarchy. So it's just where you've positioned it. You may have put family at the top, where number 8 comes as health. So that's to do with our values, where you've placed it. And again, there's techniques to change that. But if you think about it this way, if you are healthy and you have more energy and you are happier, what effect is that going to have on the rest of the areas of your life? So just think about that. Yeah. So this is coming from other people. So I've heard this one. I miss a session and I find it hard to get back on track. That's to do with goal setting. So that's tip 1, which I gave you, which is goal setting. If you set your goals correctly, then that shouldn't be an issue, because there's people that miss. When I set a client up when they do an exercise, if they miss a session or get injured, then they know that they know what to do, they know when to start back, and they will always get back on track. So that's not really, again, that's to do with the goal setting issue, that is. Weather. Is that really... I can understand sometimes you really want to, if it's right, you're sitting looking outside, you go, oh, it's raining, I ain't gonna go and do anything. But that's really... Yeah, that's to do with motivation. Again, that's to do with goal setting, and that's to do with planning again. If it's raining, then you need to have a contingency plan, something else you can do with regards to that. But that's more of a goal setting thing. Yeah. I'm not a sporty person. You don't have to be. Lots of people, and I've seen lots of people at the gym, and they love going there to go and socialise. There's so many other reasons, and people have their own reasons for wanting to go to do any exercise, or do walking, or go to a walking group, or go to the swimming pool. So there's other activities you can do, and therefore, and there's other people who are not who wouldn't consider themselves as sporty, but they will say that they're a healthy person. I have children. Yeah, that was one that I got quite a few times. And let me explain a story. I had one lady who I saw, and she came up with that as a reason why she couldn't do anything. That's to do with planning, and it's to do with organisation. She come up with her own brilliant strategies though. So all she done was she basically said, listen, I'm going to leave the house. I'm going to leave my house because I've got to drop my children to school. So I'm going to leave the house at 5 minutes later. Why? So that I'd have to walk faster. The children would have to walk faster because we're going to be late. So therefore that turns into a brisk walk, which meets the moderate activity benefits. So she not only turned her barrier into a strength for her, but she done it for her children as well. So that worked out really well. And as I said, so it's just about thinking sometimes creatively as well. when it comes to dealing with some of these barriers. I tried it and it hasn't worked for me. That's quite a common one. Lots of people go into do some activity. They'll go to swimming, they'll go to the gym, they'll go and try a sport, they'll go and do quite a lot of different activities, and they will. But again, the problem is what they have as what they're using to measure or monitor their results is just scales, and that's it. Some of the gyms that I used to work at, they took scales out because that's not really a way to monitor people. That's just one way, and it's sometimes you're not directly in control of your weight or how much weight you lose. So you can't say, right, I'm going to lose £5 this week, and then you're fully in control of that. So that's not really a good goal to set. So again, that comes back into number one. Tip number one is goal setting. So that's the reason why you need to really plan and really know how you're going to measure performance and measure your progress as well. Yeah. I don't like exercise. Exercise can be really fun, and me being working in that field, what I've often experienced with people is they didn't really know that it would be as much fun as what they thought as what they were experiencing. So in other words, they've put something in their head, they've focused on something in their head, maybe something that when they were at school and they got, as I said, they got frightened completely, where they had a negative association with doing any exercise. That's probably what it's to do. They think that that's what people do in the gym, or they do as an exercise. No. Everybody has their own limitations and fitness levels. So you go from where you are now, and all it is just progressing along. But you're right, you have to make things fun, and things do have to be fun. So there's ways around that as well. There's ways around, which I'm going to come on to in tip number 4. So that's going to come up in tip number 4. So look out for that one. What else have we got here? By the time I finish work, I'm tired. Right. Again, that's going to be to do with commitment and reasons. Again, a lot of this is to do with goal setting. It's reasons why. Reasons what you haven't built up the emotional juice for you to actually make that change yet. So if you are struggling with time like that, then again, you can still do it. There's a way to still do it, but you just got to work out and plan your week. Remember, we're only talking about, say, 3 times 45 minutes a week. That's all you have to do, and then maybe increase activities. For example, instead of getting a lift all the time, going up the stairs, or instead of driving to the shop, walking to the shop. So it's only minor changes initially that you'd have to do anyway. So, but again, that's more of a planning issue, and again, that'll be taken care of in tip number 1. What else have we got? I'm too old. Do you know what? That's not really a good reason, to be honest with you. I'll tell you why that is. When I worked in I think it was my 3rd gym, I had someone who was 60, and they were squatting way more than me. It's almost double the amount. They were a lot fitter than me. So it's never too. Again, the research shows as well that you can make very good gains when you're older as well. So 60 and 70-year-olds have been shown to actually increase their muscle mass the same as 21 to 30-year-olds. So you're never too late. Your body's always going to respond to the demands that you put on it. So it doesn't really matter how old you are. If you do more, and again, if you speak to people who are doing stuff at the gym or swimming or whatever they're doing, yoga, for example, they'll always tell you that their progress, what they started with, and what they are at the current levels after, say, a month, 2 months, 3 months, if they continue doing it, is going to be a lot higher than what they started with. So whatever level you're at, however old you are, you're always going to progress. You're always going to get fitter, and you're always going to be able to do more than what you started with, as long as you stick to it regularly. So and plus, again, I've seen people who are a lot fitter than me, a lot fitter, and they're a lot older than me, double my age. So yeah, so it doesn't matter how old you get rid of that myth. That's a myth. Yeah. What else did we hear? I may hurt myself. So can you see a lot of these are to do with fear? It's more fear-based reasons why that people don't like to do exercise. Again, if you're planning this strategically, goal setting, and realistically, then you're not going to, if you're starting, let's say exercise, if you're starting from now and you haven't exercised for, say, 10 years, there's no way you're going to be sitting there, you're going to try and run. I see a lot of people who would do that. They'll try and actually think it's a good idea to go and start running straight away. I'm going to go for a run in the new year. And many people in the new year probably now are saying, you know what, I'm going to get fit this year, so I'm going to start running. But that's the first thing they're doing. After no training for 10 years, they're going to go and start running. That's when you get hurt. That's when things happen. That's when you start pulling things, because that's too much. That's way too much at the start. You need to be gradually getting yourself back into it, letting your body adjust to the demands that you're putting on it. And as I said, it's progress. It's not all on. Loads of people like to do all or nothing, and that's really gonna, again, that's when you start doing these yo-yo things. And that's the same with the food as well. People doing yo-yo, all or nothing. It's about having a balance. It's about progress. It's about making sure that you progress all the time. And so you need to be focusing on where you want to get to. Again, it's this goal setting, where you want to be going, and where the goals that you want to be getting. Say in a year time, 2 year, 3 year, and it's a lifetime change. So you don't have to do everything at once, and you're going to mess up sometimes. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But as long as you stick to, say, 3 times, 4 times a week, I mean, you can start off with 2 times a week if you wanted to. If that's all you can fit in, and if that's all your body can take to start with, then that's fine. But just make sure you take it nice and easy at the start. You don't have to really go for it and start jogging. I mean, I wouldn't even do that. Yeah, I'd probably go on a bike or do something really light, just to see how my body is, just wait the next day, see how my body has adjusted to that, and then go again. Yeah. So that, yeah, you're only going to hurt yourself if you're not planning and haven't probably properly got the advice that you need. So do not go out gallivanting at the start thinking you can run a marathon after not training or doing anything for 10 years. You're not going to be able to do that. You'll get hurt. But if you take it nice and easy at the start and build yourself up slowly and over time, you will be able to build yourself up to those sort of levels. But it will take time. So just be careful at the start. Yeah. What's the other ones I've been hearing? This is another one I got told. I am too fat. Okay, I'm too fat. Again, it doesn't matter. Again, too old, too fat, whatever you want to label yourself as, you're starting from point A. Yeah, you're starting from point A, and you want to get to the Z. So, if you are, again, if you call yourself fat, I'm not going to call you that. If you are overweight, though, your progress is going to be a lot higher, especially at the start. So that should be your motivational factor. And if you're worried about that sort of thing, you need to really focus on other things. I mean, especially if you're going to a gym environment, one of the things that people think is that everybody in the gym is like completely these athletes and bodybuilder type things. That's not the case with most of the gyms. If you go in there and have a look around, when I used to do show rounds in quite a few of the gyms that I used to work at, people used to go, "Oh my God, these people are like me. They're like me." I didn't think there'd be people like me. In fact, most of the time they actually knew people in there. They went, what are you doing here? So that opens up. If you go and have a look around these places, or if you want to go and look at swimming, or go again, you'll find that is not the case. That you're basically the same as everybody else there, and everybody else has got their own goals and their own starting points. So go again. Don't let that hold you back. That's just again goal planning, and again just really internalize and focus on what you want and what you're going to achieve, and then you're going to see things. Again, the results. All you're after is the results. And again, if you continue on doing what you're doing, then you'll lose the weight, and then you'll get to the shape that you want to get to. So, yeah. What else is someone? I'm not the active type. I think I've covered that one before. The sporty type, not the active type. That's. I'm going to leave that one. What else is someone said? I have a heart problem that stops me from exercising. Right. Okay, that's a good one. That again, you would just need specialists. So it'd be an exercise referral type scheme or a cardiac rehab type scheme that you'll be going towards. But again, if you've had a heart issue or any issue like diabetes or any health issue like that, you really need to start exercising. Yeah, but again, you need to be doing it gentle at the start. Yeah. At the moment, I've got a back issue, and that'll be coming up next month. You'll be seeing how I get on with that next month. I'm actually recording me going to the chiropractor, but one of the things that I need to be doing is actually, when the pain's gone a little bit, I need to be then strengthening it up. I need to be doing the exercise. So if you've got a heart issue, then you need to be building up your heart. If you've got a bad knee, you need to be doing exercises around your knee. So you actually need to be doing the exercise. If you don't do the exercise, then it's going to get worse. Then, because as soon as an extra demand gets put on you, just imagine you've had a heart issue and your heart's weak and you're not doing anything a lot around, and then one day you have to run out. Just as an emergency, you have to run somewhere to stop a child from going in the road, or run for whatever reason, whatever emergency, and you're not ready for that, you're not prepared for that, you're going to put yourself in a bit of danger. So you actually need to be strengthening yourself up. Yeah. And that is it really. So I hope that I've covered the issues. Again, these are the ones that have thrown back at me, because people have been asking me and saying, well, I've got this, I've got that, and the other, because there's no point in me saying what the benefits of the exercise are, because that's really one reason you find out, and people know that. People do know that. I don't think people are that silly, and they do actually know, and you would probably know the benefits of exercise and why you should exercise. So, especially when you want to lose weight. But there's lots of, what people don't really go into is like these barriers that people are sort of experiencing. So again, a lot of that though will be taken care of if you do a proper goal setting session. And the goal setting may take 1 or 2 days, but if you do a lot of that, that will take out a lot of these barriers that are already there, so that I'm going through at the moment. So that you would have already taken care of that before it even happens. And then it's just about going there and doing it, and then it's about tweaking things as you're going along. Yeah. So that's tip number 3. Physical activity. Make sure you are doing it, because if you're not doing that, then the chances of staying at a weight that you want to be comfortable at, or that you're happy with, is not really that high. Yeah. If you watch anyone who is successful, and this is the thing, watch people who are successful at or losing weight or keeping a really good body that you admire, then just ask them what they do. Just go and find modelling. Again, is another way. What do you do? How do you get yourself motivated? How do you balance it with food? How do you juggle the time around? Just ask them how they do it, and just watch them and copy off them, learn off them, because they will be able to show you as well. So that's, again, so today is physical activity. Okay, this is Eldin from the Mind Body Project.